Petani Kedah. I am a student from Introduction to Civil Engineering at Section 3.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is FAIZ bin Muhammad GIMAN. I am 19 years old and I am from SEAA1011.
Hi, I'm JOAANNE, currently 19 years old, and I am from Klang, Selangor, and I am a year 1 student from SKA.
Hi, my name is DANISH from KHAIRUL. I am 20 years old and I am from Ipoh Perak.
For this Introduction to Civil Engineering course, students are required to complete 4 individual assignments, where 2 from my group, which is K1 group, and another 2 from K2 group. These assignments are issues of civil engineering related to geological, geotechnical and transportation engineering in tropical climate, introduction to water resources, introduction to structure and material of a building, and introduction to environmental. Hence, assignments for introduction to water resources and environmental are shared by K2 students.
Civil engineering is one of the major branches of engineering, and as its name implies, is related to engineering for civil application. Civil engineering improves quality of life through the provision of infrastructure such as building, bridge, highway, water treatment, and waste disposal plants. Transportation engineering is one of a branch of civil engineering that is involved in planning, design, operation, and maintenance of safe and efficient transportation system. This system include roadways, railways, waterways, and intermodal operation. Typically, the demand is the amount of traffic that is expected to use a particular transportation facility, while the supply is the quantity and type of infrastructure components. These systems are typically large and expensive. Geotechnical engineering is the study of the behavior of soils under the influence of loading force and soil-water interaction. This knowledge is applied to the design of foundation, retaining walls, earth dams, clear liner, and geosynthesis for waste containment. Goals of geotechnical engineer could range from the design of foundation and temporary excavation support through road selection for railway and highways to the increasingly important areas of landfill disposal of waste and groundwater contamination. As such, the geotechnical engineering is involved in field and laboratory investigation. This is to determine the engineering properties of site, soils, and other geomaterial and their subsequent use in the analytical study of the problem at hand.
Next, I would like to share about the summary of water engineering. So, water engineering is a broad term that covers engineering related primarily to development of source of supply, transmission, distribution, and treatment of water. Water exists in various forms. Almost 98% is salt water and the rest is fresh water. So the amount of water which is available for our daily use is very low. This is the point, which is how water engineering involves to keep maintaining a sufficient amount of water supply for our use. Next, what is water resource engineering? It is a field of analyze and design of systems or structures to control water in terms of quantity of water, quality of water, the timing of water supply, and distribution of water. There is a system in water resource engineering that are able to treat, store, and convey water to where it is needed, when it is needed, and to the purpose for which it is needed. These systems are divided into 2 categories, which are water control system and water use system. For water control system, it consists of flood control, drainage, water supply, salinity control, sediment control, pollution abatement, and ship navigation. Second, in terms of water use system, they will manage water distribution system for domestic and industrial water supply, wastewater treatment system, wastewater collection system, irrigation, and hydropower generation. All of these systems are important to gain source of water and maintain the supply of water to residential. Next, in this session, speaker also share about coastal engineering, which is a branch of civil engineering concerned with the specific demands posed by constructing at or near the coast, as well as the development of the coast itself. Malaysia had a problem coastal erosion along 40,809 km where close to 30% perimeter of Malaysia are affected by various degree of coastal erosion. The hydrodynamic impact of especially wave, tide, storm surge, tsunami and also the harsh environment of salt seawater are typical challenges that lead to coastal erosion, and it needs coastal engineer to solve this problem. There is a lot of strategies to overcome this coastal erosion, such as wall, gyron, detached breakwater, submerged breakwater and beach nourishment.
What is structural engineering? Structural engineering is a subdiscipline of civil engineering in which structural engineer is trained to design the board and master that create the form and shape of the man-made structures such as building, house, and many more. Basically, structural engineers are required to design a structure that can withstand the stresses and pressures imposed to environmental conditions and human use. They also need to ensure the building or other structure do not deflect, rotate, or vibrate excessively or collapse and will remain stable and secure throughout their use. Hence, they are required to calculate the pressure, stresses, and strain to each component such as beam or column which will experience from other part of the structure due to human use or environmental pressures such as weather or earthquake. The example of civil engineering structure are dam, bridge, buildings, power station, railways, tunnels, and many others.
I'm going to share what is environmental engineering. For your information, environmental engineering is a professional engineering discipline that combines broad scientific disciplines such as chemistry, biology, ecology, geology, hydraulics, hydrology, microbiology, and mathematics. It is to develop solutions that protect and improve the health of living organisms while also improving the environmental quality. Environmental engineering is also the use of scientific and engineering principles to improve and manage the environment in order to protect human health, maintain natural ecosystem, and promote environmental related improvement of human life. Wastewater management, water and pollution control, recycling, waste disposal, and public health are all handled by environmental engineers. They create plans to prevent water infections and promote sanitation in urban, rural, and recreational areas, such as well as water supply and industrial wastewater treatment system. They study hazardous waste management system to determine the severity of such risks, provide treatment and containment recommendation, and propose laws to avoid disaster. They put environmental engineering law into practice, such as determining the environmental impact of proposed construction projects.
From the assignment, I have learned issues of civil engineering related to geotechnical and transportation, such as tsunami, landslide, and transport congestion.
Geotechnical issues.
Problem or hazards include earthquake, landslide, and difficult formations such as pit and soft graves. The risk of the geologic problems and hazards such as earthquakes, landslide, and flood must be translated into project cost.
Transportation issue.
Pollution, including noise generated by circulation, has become an impediment to the quality of life and even the health of urban pollution. Further, energy consumption by urban transportation have dramatically increased, and so the dependency on petrol. I also have studied all the factor impacts and the ways to solve the issue.
Next, for the assignment of hydrology lecture, the first question asks for an example that can give big environmental impact. So the summary answer is using fertilizer in large amount can lead to a huge environmental impact on water-related system, which is eutrophication. There will be an amount of fertilizer absorbed by soil and flow into underground water. In consequence, the plants and algae underwater will die and couldn't do the photosynthesis process to produce food. Therefore, we should minimize the use of fertilizer in order to protect the underwater ecosystem. Next, second, what human activities that can cause problems in watershed? So the answer is, one of these problems is stormwater pollution. Humans are always to throw garbage everywhere, and when it comes stormwater, it will flow into rivers and oceans. It will harm underwater livings. To avoid the problem, we can set up more garbage cans at public and strict the rule. Next, what expertise are needed to manage a construction? So the answer is, the expertise involved are surveyors, hydrologists, geotechnical engineers, civil engineers and mechanical engineers. Next, for the force, state coastal force and coastal physical features. So the answer is, the coastal force are waves, currents and tides. The coastal physical features are coastal bathymetry, coastline features and sediment characteristics. Basically, these factors will strike the shore sediment and washing them away. So for the last question is, how to reduce water related problem? So the answer is, as a Malaysian citizen, we should take responsibility to stop throwing plastics and rubbish into the sea and rivers, because this is the best way to keep our water clean and non-polluted. Lastly, the fresh water on the earth is only 2.5% and humans should not waste it.
The assignment requires us to find a building in our town which has a 6-story height or higher. We are required to prepare a report which includes explanation of the architecture concept of the building, the structural system of the building, the highlight selected structural elements with interesting feature, material use, and lastly, the additional feature if any. Firstly, I found a shopping mall that near my house that has 5-story height which called Plan. Then I took some photos include the structure of the building in order to understand the system. According to my understanding, the structural system of this building is skeleton structure building and it uses beam and column system. After that, I tried my best to sketch the structure such as beam, column and many more. Finally, I have done my report. From the assignment, I understand the structure of this shopping mall in which can boost my interest in structural engineering.
So for environmental engineering assignment, so this assignment requires us to calculate the water and the energy consumption in the family in the year 2021. So first one, for the family water consumption in the year 2021. So there are 12 months in the year of 2021. So for the second column, this is the amount of water used in a month, and third one is the amount of water used by a person, the average. This one is the average amount of water used by a person in a day. So we calculate all this. So based on the final column, we can construct the graph of the family water consumption in the year 2021. So we can see in the July, the water consumption is the highest, and in September the water consumption is lowest. So this is daily usage graph. There are 3 type of activity. First one is shower, second one is laundry, third one is cooking. So cooking use more water compared to laundry and shower. So next one is the family energy consumption in year 2031. There are 12 months also. So there's the amount used in a month. So there's the amount used by a person in a month is the average amount used, energy used by a person in a day. So based on this column, we can plot this graph of the family energy consumption in the year 2031.
As a conclusion, from this 4 assignment, we can understand the geological, geotechnical, and transportation issue of civil engineering, such as landslide, tsunami, and transport congestion. As a future engineer, we can understand this issue early and try to prevent it happen. Besides that, from the assignment 2, which is Introduction to Water Resource, we learn a lot of things. For instance, a single small action like using fertilizers can cause a huge environmental impact on the water-related system. This is due to fertilizer containing a high amount of nutrition and the soil will absorb it. Lastly, it will flow into the underground water and flow into the lake and rivers, which can cause the environmental impact. For assignment 3, Introduction to the Structure and Materials of a Buildings, we understand that the design structure of a building, such as using skeleton system, beam, column system, and also the purpose of its design. Either is due to nice in looking or load distribution.
Last but not least, in last assignment, we get to know our family water consumption and how much water we use for cooking, laundry and showering, and also the power consumption. Hence, we are able to save the water and the energy since we know which part we use the water and the power at most, such as shower. We should shower with shower head in order to save the water, and also we should open the aircon only if the weather is really hot.
I'm a fine, make you mine. Hey boy.